Hi there and welcome to Yoga with Sarah Trapani. I'm so grateful to have you join me here in my home for a full body yoga stretch practice today. So all you need is a mat. This is for all levels and we're going to stretch the whole body head to toe. Do what you can, be compassionate toward yourself, and I'm really grateful that you chose this channel out of all the other yoga content on the internet. It means a lot that you're here with me. So if you really enjoy this channel, please subscribe, and you can also hit the super thanks button if you're here at the end and want to leave a tip to support my efforts. That would be amazing. Alrighty, let's get going. So we're going to start laying on the ground today, letting your back body be supported by the floor and letting your joints unwind and naturally realign. And we'll join with an inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it out your mouth. Letting that belly soften at the end of the exhale. Stretch your arms overhead and take a nice full body head to toe lengthening. Kind of like you're hitting a restart button. Feeling the reach through the fingertips. You can take your left hand around your right wrist and give it a little pull. And then take your right hand around your left wrist and give it a little pull. And then let your arms drape down alongside the body, palms facing up. And just take a moment to roll your head side to side. Tune into how you feel today and give yourself permission to really be here and present in your practice. And it's always helpful to set an intention. It can be really helpful to set an intention so that you can return to your intention as a guidepost, inspiring the effort that you put in today. And let's go ahead and zip your feet together and draw your right knee in toward your body. Interlace your hands in front of your right shin. Give it a little traction. Press that left inner thigh toward the ground. And then extend your right heel straight up toward the sky. Take your hands behind the thigh bone, calf, or ankle. And start to draw that right leg towards you and bend your right knee. And then straighten your right leg, press the heel toward the ceiling. And just work with that a couple times. Bend your right knee, then press the heel up. And bend, and straighten, and bend, and straighten, and bend into a half happy baby, reaching your right hand to the outside edge of your right foot. And then reach your left arm right up alongside the ear. Press your right heel away from the hip. And turn your gaze to the right. Pressing that right heel away and dropping that left thigh bone down. Trying to keep the hip points pretty equal. And you can reach your left fingertips all the way toward the wall behind you. And then coming into a cactus arm, step your left foot on the ground. Cross your right ankle right over on top of the left thigh. And then kick your left heel straight up toward the ceiling into figure four pose. So slip your right hand right between that space in the legs, and hands are in the left knee crease or the front of the shin. And press your right lower back into the floor. Point, flex both feet, just loosening up that right hip. And then we'll flex both feet, and if it's available, reach your hands up for that left foot, lift your head, bring your face toward that left leg, press your right knee away. Then release and come into full happy baby, reaching the hands for the outside of the feet, ankles, or shins. If it feels good to you, to press the heels more out toward a V, and then back to happy baby, and then out to a V, and back to happy baby, and out to a V. So we're kind of warming up the joints, and back to happy baby, and we're kind of flexing and releasing opposite muscle groups. It encourages those muscles to elongate and the joints to be very mobile. We're going to release. Bring your feet onto the floor. Reach your arms overhead and slide the legs out straight, big, full inhale. Exhale, draw the left knee in. Give it some traction. And then press your left heel toward the sky. Hands behind the thigh bone, calf, or ankle. We're going to bend that left knee, bring it toward the underarm, and then straighten the left leg. And then bend. And then straighten. Try to keep dropping that right thigh down. Bend and straighten and bend and straighten. And then we're going to bend, coming into half happy baby. Reach that right arm up alongside the ear. Let the left shoulder blade plug into the floor and spill your gaze to the left. And you can start to extend that left heel out to half of a V. Keep your hand on the outer foot, or you could take the outer ankle or shin or even the big toe. Try to keep pressing that right heel away and dropping the right tailbone or the right sitting bone down toward the floor. And then come back through that half happy baby. Step your right foot on the ground, cross your left ankle over on top, and kick that right heel toward the sky. Thread the needle, finding figure 4, and pressing the left lower back down. As you draw that right thigh toward you, you press the left inner knee away, and a little rocking subtly might loosen up that left hip. And then unwind and reach your hands up if you can for that right foot, ankle, or shin. Draw that right leg toward you. Press the left knee away. Bring your face toward your right knee. And then release, full happy baby. Big toes, outer feet, or shins or ankles. Whatever's feeling best, you grab. Then heels out and back in. And inhale out. And exhale back. Inhale V. Exhale back, and inhale out. Exhale back. Let's hold, rock a little bit. Then release and cross either ankle on top and lightly rock up to sit. We're going to come all the way up. Reach your arms up. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms right up toward the sky. Feel the lift of the side waists up. Interlace your hands behind your head and then scoop your knees in. Draw your elbows in. Uncross your feet. Bring your elbows towards your knees. And then slide your heels out. Open your elbows. Inhale. Open the elbows. Exhale. We're going to reach for the toes and gradually melt your chest toward your feet. And then sit up. Reach up. Inhale, open your arms to a T. Exhale, reach for your toes. And inhale, open up. And exhale, sweep forward for your toes. Take a moment to pause there. And we're going to point the feet. Take your hands on tops of the feet. Give those feet a little press and pull your belly in as you exhale. And on your inhale, flex your feet. Look up. We're going to bring the heels in, and then we're going to open the knees. Take your hands to the front of the ankles, and then start to walk your hands forward. And we're going to take our hands right to the outside edges of the mat and just kind of press your hands forward like you're trying to stretch the mat away from your sitting bones, and then pull the chin toward the chest. And then go ahead and sit up. Hands in front of the shins. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders on your back, gaze up. When you exhale, we're going to bring the knees in, and we'll slide that left heel out. We're going to take our hands around the sole of your right foot and start to lift your right heel. And you may be able to lift your heel a little more and draw your forehead toward that right shin coming into Heron pose. Let that left thigh bone drop down. You may be able to straighten that right leg a little more. Open your elbows. Exhale down through the tail. Then we're going to cross that right leg all the way over, trying to bring your right ankle to the outer left hip. And we can work there with those left toes pointing up, or you're going to turn your left toes out and scooch that left heel toward your right sitting bone to find Gomukhasana legs. And reach your arms out with your feet flexed. Rotate palms up. Inhale, rotate palms down. Exhale, inhale, reach through the fingertips, look up. Exhale, rotate, look down, belly in. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate, reach up, press. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. And then release your hands to frame your knees and drop your nose toward your right knee, any degree. Maybe you can touch your nose toward your knee and walk your hands forward a little more, curling into this Gomukhasana, stretching out those outer hips, letting the two sitting bones drop down. And sometimes you can kind of bring your knees toward your body, straighten your arms, and then move forward a little more in the fold, and then lift your knees toward your body as you straighten the arms, then move a little forward. And then straighten the arms, look up. And then one more time forward. Walk your hands to the right. Look to your right shoulder. Walk your hands to the left. Look to your left shoulder. Walk your hands back up and lean back. Uncross, open to a big open V. Big V shape with the legs. And start to lean forward and then reach on up. Interlace the awkward finger. Press the palms right up. Lift up toward your right foot. And then spread your chest toward your right foot and try to interlace your hands around that right foot or ankle or shin and melt your forehead toward that right shin. Exhaling all the way out. And then reach on up, interlace the awkward finger, stretch the palms right up, look up, turn, look at your left foot, and then reach and try to interlace around that left foot or ankle or shin. Look at your left hip, forehead melting toward that left shin. Inhaling and exhaling all the way out. And then dropping the tail, coming up, reach your arms up, and then come on forward, tented fingers. And you can kind of rock in and out a couple times if that feels okay, but you don't have to force. It might feel better to just stay in whatever range of motion you can. So maybe for you, you're upright a little more. Maybe you're able to come down to your elbows in just a couple breaths. Upavista Konasana. It's a wide-legged fold. Let's walk the hands on out. Take your hands under your knees. Cross either ankle on top. And we're going to roll over the knees, coming into tabletop position for a moment. And we're going to wag the tailbone side to side. And we're going to circulate the hips a couple times through child's pose and forward through the heart. And then back to child's pose. So we're kind of swirling that whole body in space, stretching out. And getting a little blood flow going. And then cross your ankles, sit behind your heels. You're going to extend the legs out. And then let's bring that left heel in. Interlace your hands around the sole of your left foot and lift the heel up, coming toward Heron pose. Good. So this is a great place to work. So we're kind of plugging that left thigh into the hip. Or it might feel available to bring your forehead toward that left shin. Good. Breathing there in that Heron pose. Exhaling down through the tail. And then we'll cross that left leg all the way over. So remember, you're going to bring that left ankle toward the right hip. We're doing the same sequence that we did on this side. So we can start with those right toes pointing straight up, or you're going to turn the right toes out, and then you're going to scooch that right heel toward the outer left sitting bone. So we have the knees more or less stacked on top of each other. If this doesn't feel good, just take a cross-legged seat with the left ankle on top. And then reach your arms up. Reach up. Inhale. And then exhale, we're going to fold forward. And we're going to drop our nose gradually toward that left knee. Press the arms a little straight. Knees float up a little. Then you lean forward. Press the arms straight. Lean forward. Press the arms straight. Lift up. And then walk the hands over to the left. And then walk the hands back to center over to the right. Come on back to center. Let's reach our arms up overhead again. Give the palms a little press. And then take the hands behind you, lean back. We're going to uncross and extend the heels out. Big open V. And walk to the left and walk to the right. And to the left and to the right. And this time, take your left hand, reach it for the outside of the right foot, ankle, or shin. Fold and swipe that right hand around. Try to bind and peek at your right hip. Melt your forehead down toward the shin. Breathing there. Inhale, left side. Exhale, fold a little more. And then we'll come on up. We're going to turn the other way. Right hand to the outer left foot, ankle, or shin. Fold your forehead. Reach around, try to bind. Breathe, space to that left side. letting the exhale move you into the pose a little more. And then slowly coming on up. Take your hands underneath your knees, cross your ankles. We're gonna roll forward again. Come into tabletop, wag your tail, and start to circulate your hips in the non-habitual direction. So we're just working on that little hip mobility. Nice. So we're going to then bring your knees together, sit on your heels, and then take your hands behind you. Your fingertips are pointing toward your knees. And then we can stay here and press through the tops of the feet and try to lift your butt a little bit to stretch out your quadriceps, those muscles in the front of the thighs. And then sit down and lift them up a little more. Lift the sitting bones, inhale, exhale. Lift up, squeeze your glutes a little bit. And then release. Nice open chest as well as you inhale. And then release. And so option to stay there for a moment, or you can make your way down to your elbows and just let your head fall back here. Breathing there. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then we're going to use our core a little bit. Start to lift up, chin toward chest. Walk yourself back up onto your hands. And let's come forward into an embryo pose. Let your forehead rest. Wag your tail. Let your shoulders melt. Take your hands onto your lower back. Give a little press, a little self-assist. Let a nice exhale out your mouth. Draw your belly in, slowly roll up. Let's sweep the arms overhead, big full inhale. And then exhale, press the palms away from your chest and surround your spine. And then release your hands to the floor, tuck your toes. We're gonna lift the knees and come into a forward fold. Let your head go. Take your hands onto your lower back and interlace your fingers. You can keep your hands on your back if that's feeling better, or let your arms peel away. Inhale, fill your belly. Exhale, let it out. And slowly start to bend your knees. We're going to heel toe the feet a little wider apart and drop down into a squat. If a squat doesn't feel good, you can just meet me in a cross-legged seat. Take your hands into prayer. Use your elbows to open your knees. Lift your heart. Inhale and exhale. We're going to come forward, slowly walking your hands forward, coming onto all fours. And we're going to take one quick downward dog. Pedal out the feet just to stretch into the calves a little more. Lifting one heel at a time. Nice full exhale out through the sitting bones. All the joints are open and free. Slowly come into a tabletop. Swing your legs onto the ground. So we're sitting over to the right. Let's go ahead and point our knees to the right. We'll take a little twist, walking your fingertips around. Look over your right shoulder. You can even take your left hand and take it to your right shoulder. Bring your right hand all the way under the ground. Drag that left elbow away from your left toe. Inhale, exhale, come around. Swing your knees to the left. Take your right hand around on top of that shoulder. Pull that right elbow away from the right toes. And inhale. Exhale, come back around. Slide the legs out. Point your toes. Reach down, touch the tops of the feet. Look toward your belly. Then we're going to make our way down onto the back. So we're making our way onto the back. Roll your head side to side. Reach your arms overhead, flex your feet. Good. Bring your palms together overhead, give a press. Big full inhale, expand your belly. Exhale, let everything go into a final Shavasana. Let go into the floor. Thank yourself for showing up on your mat today and invite a sense of compassion for exactly where you're at today. Find a gratitude practice for anything you have to be grateful for, and let that lightness of being flow through the joints. All the joints are light and open. We're going to start to wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, wiggling fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead, take a big full resetting inhale. Exhale, draw the knees in. Give yourself a hug, and when you're ready, very gradually roll to either side, and with your intention in mind, lightly press up to sit. Arriving again in a tall upright seat, just take a moment to roll the shoulders down, bring your hands to heart center. Thanking yourself for showing up today, and I wish you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and trust on the journey. Namaste. So grateful for your presence, and again, I appreciate you coming to this YouTube channel. I know there's a lot of yoga out there, so I appreciate you practicing with me in my home, and I look forward to seeing you next time. As always, if you could subscribe, super thanks if you enjoyed this practice. It really brings me joy. And let me know in the comments. I respond to all the comments. If you'd write me a nice note, I would love to see that. Okay, bye-bye. Take care.